There are many different types of prompts within prompt engineering. Today, I'll introduce you to 4 types of prompts you can quickly put into use to help you effectively interact with AI, starting with the first 2 prompts. Giving instructions. These prompts provide clear step-by-step instructions to the AI system on what action to take. For example, please summarize this article for me, or translate this sentence from English to French. Standard prompts. These are commonly used prompts that are designed to elicit a specific type of response from the AI system. For example, what is the weather like today? Or what is the capital of France? Here is a step-by-step explanation of how to use giving instructions and standard prompts within prompt engineering. The first step is to clearly define the task you want the AI to perform. This could be anything from generating a sentence or a paragraph to writing a story or an article. Once the task is defined, you need to identify the key elements that the AI needs to understand in order to generate text that is relevant to the task. For example, if the task is to write a story, the key elements might include the setting, the characters, and the plot. Next, you will craft a prompt that includes all of the key elements of the task. The prompt should be in a format that the AI can understand, such as plain text. The prompt should be clear and concise and should be written in a way that guides the AI model to generate text that is relevant to the task. After you have crafted your prompt, you should test it with the AI to see how well it performs. You can do this by inputting the prompt into the model and comparing the output to the desired outcome. If the output is not as expected, you may need to make adjustments to your prompt. Repeat step 3 and 4 until you're satisfied with the output generated by your AI model using the prompt. Once you are satisfied, you can use the prompt to generate text that is relevant to the task. As you use the prompt, you may find that there are areas where the AI model's output is not as desired. In that case, you can refine the prompt to make it more specific, which may lead to better output. Once you have a prompt that produces the desired output, you should save it for future use. This will allow you to quickly generate similar text in the future without having to create a new prompt from scratch. Let's break down the structure of what this would look like using a real-world example in ChatGPT. The task is to generate a business report summarizing the performance of a company over the last quarter. The key elements of this task include the company name, the period being summarized, in this case, the last quarter, key financial metrics such as revenue, profit, expenses, etc., and any notable events or trends. The prompt is in the form of a sentence that includes placeholders for the key elements. You want to input the prompt into ChatGPT and examine the output to see if it meets your expectations. If the output is not as desired, make adjustments to the prompt as necessary. Repeat steps 3 and 4 until the model generates the desired output. As you use the prompt, you may find areas where the model's output is not as you desired. In that case, you can refine the prompt to make it more specific, which may lead to better output. Once you have a prompt that produces the desired output, save it for future use. Here's an example of the output generated by ChatGPT AI using the prompt. Prompt engineering is an iterative process, and it may take several attempts to craft a prompt that produces the desired output. But with patience and practice, you will be able to create prompts that guide the AI model to generate text that is more relevant and accurate. The next type of prompt is role prompting. These prompts encourage the AI system to take on a specific role or persona, such as a customer service representative. For example, as a customer service representative, how would you handle a complaint from a customer? Here is a general overview of how to use role prompting within prompt engineering. Determine the task or use case for the AI. This will inform the type of prompts you should use and the specific information you want the model to generate. Create a set of initial prompts. These should be a diverse set of examples that cover the range of information and tasks you want the AI to be able to handle. Fine-tune the model using the initial prompts. This will train the AI to generate text that is relevant to the prompts. Evaluate the AI's performance by having it generate text based on the prompts. Look for any errors or inconsistencies in the generated text and make note of them. Revise and update the prompts as needed. Incorporate feedback from the AI's performance and test the revised prompts to see if they improve the AI's performance. Repeat steps 4 and 5 until you are satisfied with the AI's performance. Once you are satisfied with the performance, use the prompts to fine-tune the AI model further with more data. You can also use role prompting to fine-tune pre-trained AI for specific tasks or use cases such as customer service or financial analysis. This can be done by providing the model with task-specific prompts, such as you are a customer service representative and a customer is asking for help with an account. Or you are a financial analyst and need to create a report on a company's performance. Let's break down the structure of what this would look like using a real-world example in ChatGPT. The prompt states that the task is to analyze the financial performance of a company and provide recommendations for potential investors. This is the specific use case or task that the AI model is being fine-tuned for. The prompt provides the AI model with a clear set of instructions for what it should generate. This serves as the initial prompt that the model will use to generate text. The AI model will use the prompt to generate a report on the company's performance. This fine-tuning process trains the model to generate text that is relevant to the prompt and in line with the specific task. The prompt includes specific requirements for the generated report, such as a clear and easily understandable language and a neutral and impartial tone. This will serve as a way to evaluate the performance of the AI model by comparing the generated report to the requirements set out in the prompt. If the generated report doesn't meet the requirements set out in the prompt, then the prompt can be revised and updated to better guide the AI model's performance. This process can be repeated until the model is generating reports that meet the requirements set out in the prompt. Overall, our example prompt provides a clear set of instructions for the AI model to follow and serves as a tool for fine-tuning the AI model to generate text that is relevant to our specific task. Here's an example of the output generated by ChatGPT AI using the prompt. The last type of prompt is complex prompts. These prompts are used to guide AI systems to perform more complex tasks or provide more detailed information. For example, analyze the political and social implications of this new policy, or provide a creative solution to this problem. Here is a step-by-step explanation on how to use complex prompts within prompt engineering, incorporating real-world examples for easier comprehension. The first step in creating a complex prompt is to identify the task or information that needs to be provided by the AI system. For example, if the task is to provide detailed information about a specific product, the prompt should be designed to guide the AI system to provide detailed information about the product, including its features, specifications, and price. Once the task or information has been identified, the next step is to define the parameters of the prompt. These parameters include the type of information that needs to be provided, the format of the information, and any additional information that needs to be included. For example, if the prompt is to provide detailed information about a product, the parameters might include the product name, product category, and any additional information about the product. Once the parameters of the prompt have been defined, the next step is to create the prompt itself. The prompt should be clear and concise, and it should guide the AI system to provide the information or perform the task that is required. For example, the prompt for providing detailed information about a product might be, please provide detailed information about the product, including its features, specifications, and price. After the prompt has been created, it should be tested to ensure that it is functioning as expected. This can be done by providing the prompt to the AI system and monitoring its response. For example, if the prompt is to provide detailed information about a product, the AI system should provide detailed information about the product, including its features, specifications, and price. If the prompt is not functioning as expected, it may need to be refined. This can be done by adjusting the parameters of the prompt or by rephrasing the prompt to make it clearer and more specific. For example, if the AI system is not providing detailed information about a product, the prompt may need to be refined to specify that the AI system should provide detailed information about the prompt's features, specifications, and price. Imagine you are running a customer service center and you want an AI system to handle customer inquiries about a new product that your company has launched. You want the AI system to provide detailed information about the product, including its features, specifications, and price. Let's break down the structure of what this prompt would look like in ChatGPT. This prompt is considered complex because it requires the AI system to provide more detailed information than a simple prompt like provide information about the new product. Additionally, the prompt also requires the AI system to respond to potential questions from the customer which requires a more advanced level of understanding and reasoning. Here's an example of the output generated by ChatGPT AI using the prompt. You'll see that I've put in my initial prompt regarding the iPhone 14 Pro. Then I've asked a follow-up question regarding the iPhone 14 camera versus the iPhone 13 camera. And you'll see the output provided in this example. Here's a fun AI fact. AI has been around since the 1950s when Alan Turing proposed the Turing test as a measure of computer intelligence. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you in the next section.